Well, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, depending on when you're watching this. We are starting topic 3 from Unit 1, and topic 3 is all about interest. And so we're going to be doing a lot of different things talking about interest, and you will soon see that as you go out into the real world, into college and things like that, you are going to be tempted with a lot of different types of loans. And so this first day is all about loans. So we have student loans that you can get for college, credit cards, which you'll see when you start going to college that they're going to be all over you about. When you get older, you'll be looking at a mortgage loan, car loans, and even payday loans, which is an advancement on your paycheck. So get a good seat, get your calculator, and let's get started. So as I said, this new topic is all about percents. And like I said, the first part we're going to talk about is interest. That's a very, very common percent, is what are you paying on a loan? So whenever you make a large purchase, such as a car or a house, or like I said, college, it's common that you take out a loan from the bank or a different kind of lending institution. It could be the government or things like that. Although they allow payments to be made over a period of time, they're not giving this to you for free. They collect it slowly, which is why they charge interest, right? Because they're saying, all right, you're going to take this big amount. We're going to let you give it back to us over time, but we're going to charge you for that. So if we were to define interest, we would say that interest is a fee that we paid for the use of someone else's money. So you'll see that, like I said, you can get it from a bank, you could get it from the government, maybe you take a loan from a family member, but you're borrowing someone else's money. So it's a fee, it's an amount that you're paying just to borrow their money, okay? So the first formula that we're going to talk about in this part of the unit is called simple interest. And this is to calculate the amount that you're charged for a loan. All right, this is just to figure out what are you paying on the loan? What's the interest that you're paying? Maybe you've heard of the formula before, simple interest formula. I is your interest equals P times R times T. So what are P, R, and T? So let's talk about it. P represents the principal amount, or the amount that you borrowed. So if you go to buy a car and your car costs $15,000 and that's the amount you borrow, that's your P, that's your principal. R is your interest rate, right? So whatever they're charging you for your loan, so say they're charging you 26%, you always want to write that percent as a decimal, which we have done already, and that rate can be changed to a decimal by dividing it by 100 or moving the decimal 2 times to the left. And lastly, T is our time. How long are you taking this loan out? And it's always in years. And so we are going to be going from months to years here, converting them, days to years. So it's really important to remember that when we're talking about years, if it's in terms of months, remember there are 12 months. If it's in terms of days, remember there's 365 days in a year. So the first example we're going to do is example 1. Again, all this stuff is on the worksheet for your notes, okay? So example 1, after graduating from college, Sylvia takes out a loan to purchase new furniture for her apartment. What a great idea. She borrows $5,000 at an annual interest rate of 11%. If she's able to pay back her loan in just 11 months, how much will she pay in interest? Okay, so let's recall that our interest formula equals our principal, what you borrow, times your rate as a decimal, times the time you borrowed it in years. Okay, So let's identify what are each one of these variables. P, they told us she borrows. How much does she borrow? $5,000. What is her rate? What is she borrowing the money at? 11%. And again, you can convert that by dividing by 100 or moving the decimal twice to the left, and it would be 0.11 would be the number you would use for the rate. How long is she taking this out for? She can pay off the loan in just 11 months. So our time, because it's in months, we have 11 months out of 1 year, which is 12 months. So we would write our time as 11 over 12 because she did not take it out for an entire year. She took it out for 11 of those 12 months. So now that we have P, R, and T, we are going to substitute those into our formula. So interest equals that 5,000 times 0.11, which is our percent converted, times 11 over 12. And this can go right into your calculator. Check it out, type it in, pause the video for a second. What you should get for the amount of interest paid is $504.17. All right, let's move on to example 2. So this talks about you earn a bonus after somebody's excellent performance at their job. How exciting. Ron decides to deposit that amount, $5,147.18, all of it, in an account that earns 2.3% interest. If he withdraws the money 300 days later to help pay for a new car, how much simple interest will he earn? So this is a little different because in this case, Ron is depositing his money and the bank is giving him interest, right? He's not paying people interest. He's actually getting money for letting the bank keep his money, right? Same idea. Interest equals principal times your rate as a decimal times your time in years. So again, let's identify what are each of these. P, how much is the amount that, not in this case that he's borrowing, but in this case that he deposits, right? It's a little different. $5,147.18. His rate is 2.3%. So again, you could divide that by 100 or 2.3, move it over. We got to fill that in with a 0. So our rate would be 0.023. Time, let's see, how long did he have the money? 300 days. So we're talking about days. So he had it 300 out of the 365 for a year. Now we're going to substitute P, 5,100, 47. Let's get this right, teach. 47.18 times your rate, 0.023 that we converted, times our time, 300 days out of the 365 days in a year. Again, that's our interest. That's what he is actually receiving from the bank for allowing them to use his money. Calculate it. What do you get? What's that? You said $97.30. Fantastic. Great job. All right, moving on to example 3. I've done the last 2, so I think it's only fair that you guys try this one. Pause the video, come back when you're done. All right, so hopefully you guys figured out the P principal was 7,800. Our rate as a decimal was 0.11. Little different because you actually had to figure this one out based on how many days there were from July 7th to October 25th. So in order to do that, you had to go July 7th to the 31st. We're including July 7th, so that's actually 25 days. August has 31 days, September has 30 days, and then we go to October 25th, which is 25 days. If I add all those up, we should get a total of 111 days. So using 111 out of 365, using that as our time, typing that all in the calculator, you should get $260.93. Hopefully you got it. If you did, congratulations. If you didn't, go back, listen to what I said, and hopefully it makes sense. All right, last thing I'm going to talk about today is what do you get for the future value or the mature value? What would you eventually pay for borrowing a loan or get for investing your money in the bank? Okay? And so this is called your future value or your mature value. Again, either what you are getting from the bank for depositing your money or what you are paying for a loan. Okay? And the only difference is you're adding whatever your interest was, like we were doing in the 3 examples before, add that to your principal, okay? So let's figure this out. We're going to do this one together, and then I'm going to let you do the rest on your own. So example 4, little Amy, she takes out a government loan for $2,500 to help pay for her college expenses. Get ready for these because you can do this. You can take out a loan to pay for your books or whatever expenses you have for college. Be careful. If the government charges 12.1% interest, again, that's per year, and Amy plans to take the loan off in 9 months. That's when she's paying it off. 9 months. Pretty good. What will the maturity value of her loan be? In other words, what total will she pay back, including what she borrowed? Okay, so again, we're going to find this the same way. We're going to first use the P times R times T to figure out our interest. And so we still need P, 2,500. We need R, 12.1 divided by 100, or move it over twice, 0.121. And our time, she borrowed 9 months out of total 12 months. So the interest she is going to pay for borrowing this 2,500, pause it, and let's see if we agree. So her interest should be $226.88. That's her interest. That is not the maturity value. So to find maturity value, we take, we'll call it A, right? A is our total amount. So we take what we originally borrowed, or Amy originally borrowed, 2,500 plus the interest that we found that she was going to pay. And when you add those two together, you should get $2,726.88. So your task now is to finish completing example 5, followed by the 3 U-Try problems. After you do that, there is a homework, which I hope that you guys understand how to do. Any questions, bring them to me when we meet next. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. I hope you understood this, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.